Okay, it's turn 15. As you can see, we are launching some attacks. So, battles. In Jaburnia, my Bakemono wiped out the province defense. It didn't manage to kill the Great Olm, but you can see they trade extremely efficiently with basic infantry. Bakemono, because they're size 1 now, get just a ton of attacks per square, and having all those attacks per square at pretty decent damage really does pay off. You can see these 30 Bakemono just charged in, and they absolutely melt the enemy infantry for, honestly, very low casualties, comparatively speaking. 8 kills versus 19. They did rout at the end, hilariously enough, but fortunately, the enemy finished routing before they did, so that was fine. The routing is honestly their biggest problem. Then in Fanlegia, I launched in these macemen, these mercenaries, and they got absolutely trashed, but they did kill an Apuskispe. I can't pronounce that word. Apuskispe, I guess. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. So, yeah, that's something. Something. Now, this guy should, I think he's going to turn into a Malki and be able to enslave Hatun Runa, which is a little unfortunate, but it's something. And like I said, I didn't really need those mercenaries anyway. So, Masari is charging in. If these guys die, it's okay. I don't really mind. Yukimasa here is going to sneak up. He's got 15 Bakemono, which honestly isn't really enough. Actually, yeah, he can just stay here for now. I'm just going to tell him to hide. And he'll pick up next turn's recruitment as well. I may actually send them down to Queen Forest to clear that up. I am a little bit behind in terms of forts. We can see down here the Horned Coalition has 2 forts now. They may have a 3rd. As well as some underwater territories. Good for them. How do they have underwater territories? What's their, do they have amphibious units? They do not have amphibious units, which means that the end of memes must be an amphibious expander, I think. Anyway, we're moving out. We've got SS here is leading 5 Troll Moose Knights and 3 Bodyguard Huskarls directly north. He's going to start rolling up these provinces. This army, which is a pretty significant army here, is actually launching an attack. So we've got 12 Troll Moose Knights. We've got the War Shamblers. We've got Tjodulf, we've got Rathelden with a few random dudes, we've got a couple of trolls, and a few Trollfolk Huskarls. This army, I think, should be able to take on this one. We can look at Fanlegia and see what he's got. Now, he does have a lot of province defense, which could potentially be a little bit of a problem, if he holds his ground. I don't think he's going to hold his ground. So far, Mithelheim has been fighting a very high maneuver war, moving around a lot. I could at this point, and one thing I strongly contemplated doing was trying to stand on the defensive, where I'd have these Jotun militia to help me out, who have the hit points to absorb an ice-clad charge and the damage to hit back. I don't know, I'm just kind of an aggressive person, I guess, so I'm strongly tempted to just go in against this army. I don't want to give him breathing room. I want to push my troops in, threaten Mithelheim, and then I can bounce back, I can move around, I can attack. I've confirmed he does not actually own Winden, so he doesn't have as much income quite as I was afraid of. He has reached Pangender over on this side, but he's got these provinces. He's got a fort in Ivermark, as well, of course, as the fort in Hyperbochi, so he's ahead of me on forts, but only slightly. I think we can pull back. I am upgrading this fortress in Ultimadelka. I'm starting to recruit troops here. I could theoretically recruit a couple of Moose Knights here. You know, if I cancel these guys out, I could recruit 2 Moose Knights. I could recruit 3 Moose Knights if I had the gold and the resources, but I don't quite have the resources. And right now, I'd rather have bodies. So we're just gonna churn out a few trolls and a couple of Trollfolk Huskarls, which I think will be useful. Down here, my second Troll King is going to come out. I'm going to have to swap back to recruiting standard mages fairly soon, but the Troll Kings are important just by virtue of being unassassinatable. What I'm worried about, honestly, the worry here is that he's got another Jarl here now, and he's going to move up to reinforce and build up this army real big. Yeah, here's what I think I'm going to do. I think these guys are actually going to patrol. Ugologna can go over there, or Ugolona, if you were taking evidence from Bologna, or Bologna. and go over there, take a province, do some damage. These guys, meanwhile, can... I'm going to set these guys to hold an attack so that they'll clean up the flyers. And let the province defense go in first and get massacred. Okay. That will be the plan. You will Earthmite and then attack enemy flyers. Great. And hold and attack flyers. Okay, yeah, so we're going to hold there. We're going to send out the mercenaries, get a little bit of value out of them before they disappear. We also do have the Wolfkin Reavers, which I can hire for cheap. That actually wouldn't be a terrible idea, but it would require me to cut back on my spending a lot, which I don't entirely want to do. Still, 225 gold for 50 units. Might be able to help crack that I'd like to crack that palisade and take it. It doesn't have a whole lot of province defense. Or siege defense, rather. So if I can get this army onto it, I can actually bust it down in one turn. And of course, I've got more Troll Moose Knights. Troll Moose Knights are fantastic for siege strength. They're not efficient for siege strength, because they cost 100 gold each, and they only give you 5. But still, 5 siege strength per Moose Knight adds up really, really quickly. And, of course, much more efficiently, you can just recruit Trolls. Forest Trolls, 45 for 3.6 siege strength, or regular Trolls are 60 for 4.8, almost 5. So Trolls are fairly efficient. They're not, like, 10 gold for 1 siege strength like a lot of units are. And Trolled Huskarls are, in fact, more efficient per gold, but they're slower to recruit because of the resource issue. In any case, this is the plan for this turn. Alteration level 3 will be coming out. It's going to be a little while, to be honest, but getting Iron Skin and Luck will be a really, really nice step. But I just don't have the mage recruitment right at the moment. I'd love to build a lab, and I'm going to try to do that next turn, so that I can start churning mages out of Ultima Delca, because mages are going to be super, super important. However, like, not for this immediately in this war. Troops are honestly super important for me here. He can outraid me by using Iceclad, and Iceclad are very efficient raiders. If I can get them with sufficient numbers of Bakemonosho, I'll be able to take them down. So recruiting Bakemonosho is going to be valuable, definitely. We'll just kind of have to see how it goes. Yeah, I can recruit Trolled Folk Spears over here as well. They're not stealthy. I like the fact that I can get the stealthy ones out of this cave. And yes, I can get the stealthy ones out of this cave as well. So, recruiting stealthy Bakemonosho as anti-raiding defenders will, I think, be very useful. And we'll just see how we can get on. Let's get a scout up there. And that, I think, is going to be the end of the turn. Masafumi has quite a few troops. Actually, Masafumi, I tell you what. Yeah, let's go in and take that. And they're just going to be set to attack closest. Masafumi will be right up with them, so that hopefully he doesn't get outflanked. In fact, we're going to put those guys slightly behind. He might get outflanked by the Long Dead Horsemen, but we'll see. He may be able to take this province. If I was worried about it, I could send Essus to reinforce, but I'm not that worried about it. Essus has this cat charm, by the way, which I'm actually going to save. I don't need to give that to him. And yeah, next turn I'll have another Troll King. So, thanks for watching. That's turn 15. I'll see y'all in turn 16. The war with Mithelheim continues. Right now, I'm a little on the back foot territory-wise, but I think I'm going to be able to leverage my impressive troops in order to make some ground back. I can get these troops up there, wrap around, try and take Hipperboki. What I want to do is kind of force him into a big fight, where I have like 20 or 30 Moose Riders against his, or Moose Knights, against as many forces as he can assemble. And if I can do that, I think I can crush him. But he should know that as well, so probably we're not going to have that fight. But in any case, I'll see you next time. Alright folks, it's turn 17, and this looks like a showdown in the brewing. Although, it's interesting. If anything, I think this army is actually getting worse for the purpose of fighting me. I have my troops are patrolling. I'm concentrating in Essus with 4 Troll Moose Knights. Frankly, what he's done here is moved in a whole bunch of Long Dead and Hatun Runa. Against a whole bunch of Long Dead and Hatun Runa, like, 4 Moose Knights are better than all the troops he's added. This is a force with a ton of siege chaff, essentially, but that siege chaff is actually actively counterproductive against the units I've got, because Troll Moose Knights can kill siege chaff all day, every day. So, if we look at what I'm gonna have here, I've got 4, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 19 Troll Moose Knights, a whole bunch of Trollfolk Huskarls, some big regular trolls, and forest trolls, and a few Trollfolk Spears scattered in, but basically nothing that's really vulnerable. Everything here is pretty tough, realistically speaking. I'm actually going to need to cancel my recruitment real quick, and I hope he's not attacking me this turn, because I need to build a lab real quick. So all these guys are patrolling, these guys are moving, patrolling. I've got another Troll King, Starcad, moving up with 5 more, and he's going to cast Earth Might and then attack. I cannot cast Stone Skin. Stone Skin will make me even more cold vulnerable, and so I definitely cannot cast Stone Skin. I do, however, have Deep Breaker out here, and Deep Breaker is forging a Ring of Frost. So if I get the lab, then I can start putting Rings of Frost on my Troll Kings to make them cold resistant 15, which will mean they won't freeze over when fighting Neefle Jarls. And with that, they probably still can't take a Neefle Jarl one-on-one, just because they have lower HP, but they might be able to put up a fight of it. And, I mean, they do hit really, really hard, like 39 damage. I actually don't recall what exactly a troll... Yeah, 35. They actually hit harder than the Neefle Jarls do themselves, and they have higher prot. So, they might be able to take a Neefle Jarl, I'm not sure. It would be a long fight, but with the cold resistance, they can actually have that fight. Now, I don't know if he's going to attack me in Ultima Dilica this turn. If he doesn't, then I'm actually going to go and attack him. He has a lot of province defense here, I know, but the province defense is primarily chaff once again. And frankly, the chaff is going to work against him. If there's enough chaff on the field, then his Neefle Jarls may actually HP route shortly after beginning to fight, just from having lost so much HP in terms of... I mean, like, his Hatun Runas, each one is... And I know that's the weird, edited... icon for him. I think Hatun Runas have the same HP as Iceclad. I think they're 9 hit points each. Well, if he's got 100 Hatun Runas at 9 hit points, that's more hit points than one of his Neefle Jarls. And, you know, you add up a little bit of that, and you start approaching the 2/3 mark. Now, what he might do is this turn he may be moving in a 3rd Neefle Jarl, which would be sad. But, in any case, we're gonna see how it goes. I'm also sneaking a whole bunch more Trolled Folk up here into Shadow Glade. We're going to try to sneak them in the back and cause some raiding troubles, and I think we can probably do some stuff with that. But that's basically the turn. My research is still nothing, because I've been caught in this war and just recruiting troops. Giant Fortress will be done next turn, so if he doesn't attack me this turn, it's going to get a lot harder to take, and it'll boost the income, which will be great. And I think, in terms of troops, I think I actually still have an advantage here. We'll just have to see how it goes. So in any case, short turn, but that's it. My income is quite healthy. My province count is fairly healthy. I just took Milmeria back and dropped 11 province defense in it, so these barbarians might be able to club the Iceclads if the Iceclad come after them. And we'll see how things develop. So, see y'all in turn 18. Okay, folks, turn 18. We have been attacked in Mile Deep, and we lost, of course, very, 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 very easily. He's got 2 Neefle Jarls there now. Pile of Long Dead, some Ice Guard, some Olms, and 16 Blizzard Warriors. We have, however, finished constructing our fortress in Ultima Delica, so we've got that going for us. And to be honest, our income is not bad, especially because we can, if we want, make cheap mages. We're not, however, making cheap mages right now. We are beginning to recruit Troll Sith Barrender. As I said, income about 1,000 per turn, which is not too shabby. We've got 1 Troll King equipped with a Ring of Frost, so he has 15 cold resistance, which is great. And we're trying to collapse our forces onto Mile Deep. I don't know if he's going to stay here. If he does, he's going to get fucking railed, to be honest, because we've got just a lot of Moose Knights, a number of mixed trolls here. This will absolutely wipe out the army. Now, the only problem, the potential issue here, is going to be if his Neefle Jarls are deployed next to each other, which is what he's doing, yes. So he's got Jesse Pinkman here with his heroic toughness. And then he's also got Molly. These two deployed next to each other create a zone of overlapping cold auras that is actually going to be troublesome to deal with, because it means that they proc a ton of chill chill rolls on just everyone around them constantly. And that's going to be very, very difficult. They may be able to fight their way through the army just by virtue of me not having cold resistance on most of my guys, if they hold still. However, the rest of their army will be lost. The rest of their army will be destroyed, and I may be able to kill the Neefel Jarls just in the round or two of attacks that my guys get before they're completely frozen unconscious. Not sure. Not at all sure. It doesn't really look like he's got a regeneration bless, so any damage they take is going to stick around, and they will take damage from hits from Moose Knights, so I think I might be able to take it. I've got Masafumi here. Masafumi's actually going to move straight north and move up into Cynthia. He's got a fortress finished here that I've got some scouts on. And, yeah. We're doing fine still. Starting to build up the old research a little bit, and you can see my research is actually building up quickly now that I'm recruiting mages. My Troll Saith Barrenders are going to be researching. It's not very efficient, but they do give me 20 research points each if they're in Magic 3 Dominion, which this one isn't. This one's being pushed away by someone else's Dominion. But they do give me a bunch of research each. I'm actually going to swap, I think. Let's start recruiting those down there, and recruit the Sith Barrender back at home. And I'm recruiting Moose Knights and Trolls, standard Trolls, up here for the 4 hit points per turn regeneration. These guys can tank, like, charging attacks from Ice Guard and give it back with interest. Or, not Blizzard Warriors. Yeah, he's recruiting mainly the Atlanteans now. He's not really recruiting many by way of his flyers anymore, but he does have all his free spawn Hatun Runa away. Iceclads is what I was thinking of that they can tank effectively. In any case, we've got some troop recruitment, we've got mages coming out, our research will be ramping up. We did lose a province to an attack by the forces of Earth, since we claimed the Throne of Gaia, but claiming the Throne of Gaia also gave us a bunch more nature income, so our nature and death income are both pretty good. Our total gem income is still only 12 per turn, which isn't fantastic, but we will hopefully be cranking that up a little bit as we go. We're moving out Deepbreaker to start site searching for water, which I will desperately, desperately need. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to alchemize real quick, and I'm going to forge another Ring of Frost first. Okay, so Troll Kings moving down to hopefully beat up the army in Mile Deep. We've got my goblins sneaking in. This goblin is actually going to attack Durland, and we're going to sneak them around, just causing havoc. He can't stop me from raiding him with these guys. I'll take casualties, obviously, just because they're very weak. But 30 of them is a pretty significant, 30 is a pretty significant crew. So we're going to sneak these guys up in here. They are going to hide. And, yeah, we should end up with another 32 there. And we're just going to keep churning them out of Red Mines for as long as we can. Our recruitment in Red Mines is very solid, and we should be able to do that for a while. I've got these Ganas and Pisachas down here. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to sneak these guys down here. Hide. And, we're going to go take Queen Forest. That'll be our next move, because it's ours. It's in our territory. We've made an agreement with the Horned Coalition, so we can go take that for free. In any case, that's where we stand right now. Research-wise, Alteration level 3 in a couple of turns. That will give me Iron Skin and Luck, both of which are fantastic little buffs to be dropping on people. And from then, we will proceed apace in the war against Mithelheim. If we can break this army, then I think we'll be able to push in, do a lot of good damage. Shadow Glade was claimed by Independence as well, and Ivy King hit it, killed that Great Olm. An Ivy King also attacked Mithelheim, but Mithelheim, of course, has a ton of province defense, so they failed, unfortunately. And, that is what we got. Then we can see here, Winden, these Hatun Runas and Iceclads wiped the place out. They did take pretty significant casualties, though. So in any case, that's turn 18. CL on turn 19, hopefully, will have taken out a significant army and scored a powerful victory against the unrighteous armies of Mithelheim. See you then. Okay, folks, turn 19. Things are pretty tense. Baywatch and Thriceborn have both declared new prophets. There was a battle in Mile Deep. My army rolled in with 24 Troll Moose Knights, wiped out the forces of Mithelheim with no trouble. There was also a battle in Durland. My Bakemono show rolled in and wiped out the province defense with a little bit of trouble, 4 casualties, but nothing worth really talking about. So, first raiding squad is out. I'm slipping over into this province. I'm not going to attack this province directly, but as we can see here, Optimistria, who I had discussed this with, is now attacking Mithelheim. So, fantastic. We've got him from both sides. We also have Pangender over here, who may come in. I'm probably going to contact them and see if they want to, but I think they're in trouble of their own, so they may not cooperate. Now, this is a fascinating province. This is the first time I've seen these guys, the Cynocephalians. Cynocephalians are a new independent type, and they're really good. Cynocephalians are very, very powerful. However, that's probably why they haven't been taken, because they are quite powerful, especially in the dark. So, the situation. We've got our main army here. 3 Troll Kings, although I'm breaking it down to only 2. They have a total of 24 Moose Knights and a variety of other units. I've got these guys split up into 2 groups set to hold and attack large monsters. I also have 1 unit in the back set to hold and attack flyers, and these guys are actually designed to draw attention. You know what? I should set them all to hold and attack flyers, because the flyers are the part that's liable to disrupt my plans the most, and once the flyers are dead, they will naturally advance into the enemy infantry. So, let's just set everyone back a little bit further. And get the flyers definitively wiped out when they try to drop in on us. That'll be fine. So, this army is not going after Funaligia. Funaligia has a ton of province defense in it. It also has a very large army. They can concentrate all their troops there. If I wanted to be safe, in fact, the thing that I would do would actually be to pull back to Ultima Delca, where I am recruiting reinforcements. And in fact, I might do that. That would give me another 5 Moose Knights, another Trollfolk Huskarl, 4 Trolls. That's a pretty significant reinforcement. But I'm moving Sore back to grab those troops. The army, however, is advancing, and this is another kind of, like, bold, risky-ish strategy. What I want... the province defense here isn't really worth anything. I'll put 1 point in to get a Jotunhearse, but that's all. What I want is to catch part of the army, part of this army divided. I would love for a lot of this army to go over here to attack Ultima Delca. And I would also love for part of this army to catch me here and be destroyed. In particular, if I could kill a Nifl Jarl by himself or with limited support, that would be fantastic. Over here, a little raiding party going up into enemy territory. Down here, I do have about 45 Bakemono Show heading down here to claim Queen Forest, which is, of course, mine. I've got some troops sitting here, a bunch of them, actually, sitting here in Tunnels of the Lost. I'm recruiting more and more, just to make sure I have, like, you know, units that can do some damage. And Vana is preaching. I do need to reclaim Rim Mountains at some point here. I haven't recruited any troops down this way, but let's recruit a Moose Knight. And I am, of course, recruiting Troll Seth Berender as well. This one's just researching for now. Deepbreaker is moving out to search for water sites, because I need more water income. And my research is going up, so I should hit Alteration Level 3 this term, which will give me Iron Skin. That'll be nice. It'll let me boost my natural protection from 14 to 20, which is another couple points of protection net. It'll make me more vulnerable to shock, but so far I haven't seen him using any shock magic. And, by moving back this way, I will also be able to get my other Ring of Frost on. I have a Berserker Pelt, and this Dragon Scepter that I got this turn from a random event. I can't use it, unfortunately. I mean, it gives me Flame Bolt, but it doesn't give me any fire resistance, which I would hope that a fire item would give. But anyway. I also do have some fire gems, so if I were to recruit a bunch of Trollfolk Shamans until I got a fire random, I could potentially forge a fire resistance item, but we'll get back to that in a minute. In the meantime, Masafumi is raiding up here. He's set to have he's got some guards on him, and then he's got these guys who are holding and attacking flyers. So even if they try to counter him with a flying posse, he should be able to win out. And we should be able to move in, push the enemy back a little bit, maybe put Hipperbochi under siege, and exert a little bit of pressure, which is definitely what we need to do now. So, that's the status, and I think with Optimistria coming in against Maythelheim, he should be under enough pressure that he can't concentrate everything against me. So I'm hoping that at the very, very least, over the next few turns, I can claim pretty much this segment. And of course, by doing that, we'll essentially force it to be a war to the finish, because he's not going to give up his cap circle, so I'm basically trying to destroy Maythelheim. But we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 20. Also, we have seen our first Bygone Tyrant. Meltonus actually appears to be running rampant through the Baywatch, and has wiped out a pretty heavily province-defended province here with this tyrant. I don't think they have anything special going on at the moment, but that is Thoas. He's lightly geared. He has heroic precision. He got to recruit these guys from the start, by the by, instead of having to wait for them. So he has the Champion's Gladius, so he's won the arena at least once, no surprise there. Black Steel Tower Shield, Black Steel Plate, high defense skill, high prot. That's enough for now. Also, he's lucky because of the Champion's Gladius. So no regeneration, nothing, but still, very, very dangerous, very hard to kill. You would need masses and masses of high effectiveness troops in order to kill this guy, and they would also need to be resistant to Fire Shield. Because any one thug he will absolutely fucking smoke, and as you can see with this setup, masses of troops that aren't super durable he will also smoke without taking any damage. So, yeah, it's a problem. But that is the turn. See y'all turn 20. Okay, folks, turn 20 this turn. Lots of battles, but none particularly decisive. We took Shadowglade against no resistance. We also took Scythia against almost no resistance. The enemy moved in and captured the exterior of Ultima Delca this turn against very minor resistance. And we moved in and captured Queen Forest against, once again, very, very minor resistance. So, we've expanded a little bit. We've got some goodies going on. These guys need to move back through their own home and pick up some more troopers. Our little raiding party is just hiding over here. He moved some ice guards to intercept them. Didn't successfully guess where they were going to go, so that's nice. Now, of course, this turn they can hit either that province or this province. They could potentially attack one of his palisades and lock them down as well. He's got a number of forts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. Only one has been upgraded. But still, 5 is a far cry from 2. We are well behind in the fort race. We're gonna work on that because we're gonna start building a giant palisades over here on Tunnels of the Lost this turn. But we're also hoping to take Hipperbochi away from him. In any case, the army that he's got besieging Ultima Delca, we can see right here. 1 Jarl, 1 Warrior Smith, so almost no magic support. 74 Hatunruna, or 70 Hatunrunas now. Some Long Dead, some Ice Guard, some Ice Clad. It's a pretty significant army, but I don't think it's an army that can take the place, at least not if Starkad and Theodulf come in beforehand. So, Sura here has the Ring of Frost on, so he has 15 cold resistance. He also has, of course, his 14 natural protection, and he can now cast Iron Skin since we've hit Alteration level 3. That makes him very, very tough for the enemy to stop. He doesn't quite have access to Temper Flesh yet, unfortunately, but he does have access to Enlarge. So Frigg is going to cast Enlarge on him as well. And we're casting Enlarge a few times because we cannot guarantee that it's going to take the first time. So we're spending gems to cast Enlarge. Casting Enlarge, of course, increases his hit points by 30%, which will also increase his regeneration, and it will give him a little bit extra strength. It'll lower his defense by 1, but his defense is low anyway, and he'll absolutely get rattled to death with his defense no matter what. I don't think there's really a good item that I can forge for him. I mean, I could forge for him gear. His armor is already quite good. His armor has pretty high prot values and low encumbrance. The only thing that I could really do is I could forge him a shield and a magic weapon instead of his maul, which might help. I don't have any AoE magic weapons available, but I could forge him, like, a black steel sword, which would give him an attack and defense buff. It would do a lot less damage, is the thing. Or the enchanted shield, which makes it fast, or the black steel tower shield or something. I could do all that. The only thing, honestly, that would really, really help him would be forging a black steel helmet, probably. So I think I am going to do that. I am going to forge him a black steel helmet real quick. Because Iron Cap is... Well, actually, he's got the Iron Cap, which is Prot 16. See, Prot is just not his problem. Prot's not going to save him. Like, if it comes down to a question of whether he has enough protection to live, he's not going to live. His chance is to be just regenerating as hard as possible. But what I think and hope is going to happen is he stays here to try and seed to place down. He would have gotten the message that his walls that the walls are severely damaged, I think, because they are below half wall integrity. But in order to keep that going, he has to keep most of the army there. So I hope he's going to keep most of the army here and move relatively limited forces to try and stop me in Fanligia. He might not know that I'm going to go through Fanligia, because I could either go through Fanligia or return through Mile Deep to get within striking range of the army attacking Ultima Delca. Either would work for my purposes. I'm also casting Reanimation a couple of times just to have some Long Dead. They'll get me some Jotun Long Dead, which will be useful, just as a little bit of extra chaff to defend the castle. But I'm hoping that next turn this army will be able to catch him and either destroy this army or cripple it enough that Sore's troops defending can hold the castle. Because the fact of the matter is, these Troll Moose Knights can hold this castle. With Sore leading them, the big risk, I mean, okay, so when you're defending a castle, the enemy has to come through the gate, right? So the gate can be blocked by a small number of Moose Knights, and if it's chaff in the gate, the Moose Knights can kill chaff all day, every day. Ice Guards will eventually cut their way through them, but with heavy casualties. Hatun Runa will get massacred. The Great Olms spamming their Paralyzed, that would be the biggest risk. But even that, I mean, even Paralyzed Troll Moose Knights can take a lot of damage from shitty units like this, like these maces that are doing 16 bludgeoning. If they've got a whole bunch of Hatun Runas with their hilarious little sprite there, if they've got a whole bunch of Hatun Runas surrounding Troll Knights that are paralyzed, I think the Troll Knights live. In fact, that might be the best possible case, because if that happens, then I might just turn timer him, regardless of whether he actually wins the fight. The only units here that are dangerous are the Ice Guards. The Nifl Jarl, of course, is also dangerous, but I think there's only one Nifl Jarl, and he can't fly, so he has to come through the gate too. I don't think Niflheim wants to have this battle here at my fortress, or rather, they want to have it, but I think even with just these defending forces, they would take very heavy casualties. If I can get Starkat and Tjodulf over there at the same time, I think the casualties will be immense. I think I'll be able to destroy them. Now, of course, the other thing that I could do is I could move in and attack Meithelheim with this army. This army has 216 siege strength. This fort they could bust down in 3 turns and actually take the enemy capital. This army over here wouldn't be able... Okay, so wait. So 3 turns. If I moved up here and attacked this turn, they've got 60 enemy units in there consisting mainly of flying defenders. So they are going to have like 60 or 70 siege defense. They may be able to make it 4 turns instead of 3 turns. So here, they have spent their 1 turn, they spend 1 more turn breaking down the walls, they assault. If it's 4 turns, they will be able to get back in time. But of course, I have these raiders as well. They have some siege strength, not a huge amount, but enough to tip the balance. So, Meithelheim has to take into consideration the fact that my army could potentially attack his capital, just go straight for the throat. And to be honest, I'm actually seriously tempted by that. I really am. It's a hard call to make, because, like, he's attacking Ultima Delca. If I don't move this army back to defend, he will capture Ultima Delca. He'll take it, he'll destroy the fort, etc., etc. Sora can't hold the place by himself. But on the other hand, if he spends too much time doing that, I might actually be able to take Meithelheim. He's got something like 70 Ice Guard up here in... Down here in Durland, actually that's not quite 70, more like 50. 50 Ice Guard, a bunch of flyers, Jesse Pinkman, the Nifl Jarl. This army could probably smash the defenders of Meithelheim. Now, they would lose so many in the process, though, that I don't think they'd be able to prosecute the siege effectively, because I think I would take heavy casualties. So, overall, probably attacking the capital, not the smart move just yet. We're going to move back, try to defend Ultima Delca, see where things go. This little force, meanwhile, will move in to attack Hipperpochi, just to keep him honest, keep his attention. They're all set to hold and attack flyers. He doesn't have any flyers over here, but he could move some in, and I would rather have defensive measures in place against them than not. The Ice Guard are slow enough that we can, even if we're set to hold and attack flyers, if he doesn't have flyers, the Troll Moose Knights will be able to engage them on good terms anyway. So, that is, I think, the turn. We're going to cancel these guys for now. Gives me 137 gold, which I will spend on another... let's spend it on Trolled Folk Huskarls right now, actually. They're pretty solid. Well, Moose Knights, though. Moose Knights are also solid. Let's stick with the Huskarls. They're a little bit more efficient in terms of spending resources per gold. And we will see what the next turn brings. So, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 21.